It's exactly 1 minute past the hour of 12 on the PM side right here from the studios of Pensioners 106.7 FM. Agbarigo, Nireke, Ibadan. Yes, it's another time for us to take you around the world of sports. The name of the show is Midday Sport, and my name is Eedris Abiola. Femi Shittiu is also here, and together we're going to be having an exciting time on the show this afternoon. Well, Femi, very quickly, don't forget that over the last weekend we had the Champion of Champions tournament go down in Bayelsa State, where a couple of guys, particularly this girl, six-time African champion, Odumola Adekunroye, emerged as a champion in the 57 kg. We're going to talk about that on the show this afternoon. Also, don't forget that we're counting down to the Tokyo Olympic Games that are set to go down in April. Will it go down? Will it not go down? What are the parameters, that could be used to be sure if it's going to go down, if it's not going to go down? We're going to be looking at all of this on the show this afternoon. Also, we've got something coming from boxing too. Well, maybe we're not going to be talking about Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury on the show this afternoon, but particularly, I think we're going to be talking more on the Champion of Champions tournament that just ended in Bayelsa State, as we will be talking to Emeka Dina, who happens to be the media officer of Nigeria Wrestling Federation. Is going to join us on the show this afternoon. So it promises to be an exciting show. So all you've got to do is just sit back, relax, and listen. And listen as we are ready, we're set to take you around the world of sport. All right, very quickly, Femi, let's hit the ground running on the show this afternoon. Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga has vowed to forge ahead with preparations to hold the Tokyo Olympics this summer. The development is coming in the face of growing public opposition as Japan battles a surge in coronavirus infection. And of course, in the words of the Prime Minister, he said yesterday, we will press ahead with preparations with determination of building watertight anti-infection measures and holding an event that can bring hope and courage to the world. You heard the words of the Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga in that one, saying that we will forge ahead with our preparations concerning the Summer Games at Tokyo 2020 Olympic. Don't forget, it's going to go down this year, but of course, it still maintains that name,
Tokyo 2020. Yes, I think the very first time I saw that news, that article, I was very much surprised, given the fact that, Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga, coming out with this authoritative statement that, okay, yes, people are having doubts of whether this competition will go or not. But according to some of his, the members of his cabinet, I think I'm going to go with their own, thoughts too, because many people actually feel like is this safe? Yes, is this safe? Casting doubts, a lot of doubts over whether this competition will go on or not. And if you look at there's something that is on the line right now, I'll tell you that I'm still very much surprised at why this is still, a huge talk.
In fact, just like you mentioned, Femi, Taro Kono, who happens to be a member of Yoshihide Suga's cabinet, he said that, in fact, he told newsmen last week that the games may not go ahead as planned, and of course, with that, he becomes the first cabinet member to actually voice doubt over that tournament. So, with the recent surge in cases of COVID-19 in Japan, there has been speculations that maybe we're not going to see these games go down again this year. Maybe we're going to extend it to 2022 but Yoshihide Suga is saying we will continue with our preparation.
Yes,
because we still have, we're pretty much confident that Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games will go down as planned.
Now, that's where the problem lies. If, he is adamant that this tournament is going to go, you just cannot just stay with the precautionary measures alone. On the safety rules. Oh, no doubt that, they're having the guidelines, everything down for them to lay down. And in fact, I think there was a media poll that actually took place, and it showed that 80% of people of Japanese are actually saying that okay, this competition would rather be adjourned or even cancelled abruptly. You understand what I'm saying? And there is this number now. I think for the people that were supposed to
The
take part,
IOC, yeah, they are
yes,
expecting
I
at
think
least 6,000 athletes.
6,000. No, okay, they were
Mm,
expecting 11,000 from 200 countries
yeah,
before, but now the number is down to
6,000
6,000. That's like a
just for the
5,000
opening
subtraction
ceremony.
for the opening ceremony. So I still think, in all honesty, going forward, I'm not sure if this is actually a good time. But I think on the IOC's part now, I think what they have in mind is the fact that they don't want to have a situation whereby they have to adjourn it to another year, or probably
Yeah.
latter stage of 2021. So they just want, like, okay, let's just have it, and let's know we are already done and dusted with it, because a lot of athletes have actually been preparing, no doubt about that. But if we are still going to look critically at this issue of COVID-19, I still think that it's something that, if they even elongate it, everybody knows that no, it's what's been elongated.
Well, every plan has to do with
COVID-19.
precautionary measures as regards COVID-19 and all of that. So they're trying to put measures in place to ensure that the bubble is safe for everybody, both the athletes, the officials, and of course, members of entourage for all of these athletes.
Yes.
All right, we move straight to the Australian Open 2021. Don't forget, February 8th has been set as the day that this tournament will go down. And a lot of players, as we speak, Femi, are in quarantine. But, well, some players are actually saying that, look, why must I be in quarantine when I have not contracted coronavirus? But the thing is that when two flights actually flew from Abu Dhabi, one from Abu Dhabi and one from Los Angeles, they went down to Australia. Two, one from each flight contracted coronavirus, and as a result of that, due of this tournament, they said, should there be a case where a person contracts coronavirus, everybody on board will have to be in isolation for 14 days. So a lot of tennis players, 72 of them, are in quarantine as we speak, and the likes of Novak Djokovic has been raising voices that look, why should I be in quarantine because I've not contracted coronavirus? But the rule is there. Maybe he has forgotten. But the likes of Nick Kyrgios has been talking to too, telling him
it's
that
critical,
man,
critical of his own decision that the body should actually give them a shorter time for them to come out, and then before they return back to their hotel rooms and all. But I don't know the reason why they're actually complaining now, because they've already been briefed.
No, they are aware that there are some of their friends, those who have not contracted coronavirus, those who have no cases of whether been in contact with somebody affected with COVID-19 or so. Those ones have the opportunity to train. I think 2 times in a day.
Yes.
So I think Novak Djokovic is looking at it from that perspective. That if these ones can have this opportunity to train ahead of this competition,
why not them?
Why shouldn't I? I mean, I should not be. I should be given this kind of opportunity too because I have not contracted corona. But the case is, you have been in contact with someone that has been infected.
So you never can tell. Well, I understand that plight, and given the fact that today is 19, and then the competition will begin, I think on the 8th of February. Yes, it will begin. Now, if you want to look at the way other guys that are not in isolation right now are actually preparing, you as a player, you actually feel like, okay, this is an edge that it's not really equal. They have a slight, over time for them to prepare well, and they'll be more sharper, when they start the competition. So on their own part, they might feel like, okay, no, this is not good enough, because I've actually seen, I think one article says now that they've been training in their room. Playing against the wall.
Every day.
Just to keep sharp every day. You understand? So what they are actually complaining about is the fact that they were not told that if a case or a coronavirus case actually surfaced and all, that probably they will be locked in their room indefinitely and all that kind of thing. He said they were not briefed about that. I think that's the whole complaints that they've been hearing about that one. But I still believe that if they just sit down and just reason with the authorities too, they know that this thing is a very, very strict and something that they have to be mandatory about. That no, we cannot risk and jeopardize the lives of other people just because you want to train and take part in this tournament.
Yeah, and Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews has already said that no special treatment for any tennis player.
Exactly.
Players living under strict quarantine rules after arriving for the Australian Open will get no special treatment. says Victoria Premier Daniel Andrews. In his words, he said that the virus doesn't treat you specially, so neither do we. And he went further to say that I know there's been a bit of chatter from a number of players about the rules. The rules apply to them as they apply to everybody else. And they were all briefed on that before they came, and that was the condition on which they came. So there's no special treatment here. The affected players have been deemed close contact of the 4 COVID-19 cases on 3 planes which arrived from Los Angeles, Abu Dhabi, and in fact, as we speak, Femi, 2 tennis players have contracted the coronavirus as they tested positive amid the quarantine rule. And well, we just have to know that this thing is real. And if you look at all of this together, Femi, in your own, I need your reaction. I need your thoughts on this now. In your own view, do you think, you know, Australian Open, February 8th, date set, can it still go down?
Well,
given the number of coronavirus cases we have already in Australia.
That's a very good question, Eedris. And as you rightly said, there has been a recent surge in the COVID-19 cases. And then looking about, the health and their own safety, I don't think it's a very visible thing to want to you still go on with right now. It's just it's like a similar case with that of the Olympic Tokyo 2020 that we were talking about the other time. I mean, it's still this same thing that's been ravaging the whole competition, the whole sport, so it's still one common enemy that we are fighting against, which is the COVID-19. So according to the dates, they were already set now, February 8th. I still don't think, this is just this is the 19th of January. I mean, it's pretty much very close when you're looking at when you're talking about January 8th. It's still, February 8th. It's still very close. So in my own honest opinion, I don't think they should actually go on with that date. I mean, they should actually just look at the cases that are on right now. There are already players that are having 14 days of isolation. I mean, mandatory 14 days of isolation right now. Give them the chance and have a retest. Let them see who's coming out positive, who's coming out negative, so that they can actually know that okay, to an extent they've been able to curtail this spread and make sure that the other players that are not opportuned to be training now can also have the enough room for them to train, so that they will remain sharp when the competition starts. It's not just like somebody will go into the competition 50% fit and the other person because he's not or she has not gone through the COVID-19 compliance or 14-day isolation, the person is on 100%. I mean, that's an irregular hedge. I mean, it makes no sense. So I think for me, let them have a equal path on this issue of COVID-19 and compliance guidelines, everything. So for me, that date can be adjourned. I mean, can be adjourned to probably a later week in the month of February or probably even March, depending on whether this recent surge in COVID-19 decreases or retrogress.
All right, Femi, we move straight to the Champion of Champions event that just ended in Bayelsa State. Don't forget, it was organized by the president of the Nigeria Wrestling Federation, Honorable Daniel Igali. And according to him, he said the Champion of Champions wrestling competition, was organized to prepare the nation's wrestlers for the Africa Wrestling Championship in El Jadida, Morocco, in April this year. And of course, we're going to be speaking live with the media officer of the Nigeria Wrestling Federation, Emeka Dina. I'm trying to put a call through to Emeka Dina to see if he's gotten an update for us concerning the tournament and, of course, how they are preparing our wrestlers ahead of the Africa Wrestling Championship that's set to go down in Morocco April this year. Okay, still trying to get through to Emeka Dina.
Okay, with the readings, the article that I read and the updates I've been following concerning this tournament, I think it's a very, very good one. And then you give the fact that they've been actually out for almost a year. They've not, partaked in any competition. So it's a very, very massive one. Seeing breathtaking performances from the likes of Oburududu and Adeni, and I saw a particular, start of us. I mean, she actually defeated one. I think is Biogosi Ebi now. 10-0. Then she defeated another peer now. I've forgotten her name now. I'm trying to remember her name. I think Anna Burial, and I've forgotten the other name, but she lifted the person 11-0. I think this is a very, very breathtaking start. And going by a review after the match, she actually said that a lot of players.
We have Femi, we have Emeka on the line. Good afternoon to you, Emeka.
Good afternoon, Eedris.
Yes. How are you doing this afternoon?
Very well. Good afternoon. How about the good people of Abuja and your team listeners?
Of course, you're live on Pensioners 106.7 FM Ibadan.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry for the mix up there.
All right. Straight to action. The Champion of Champions tournament just ended in Bayelsa State yesterday, and of course, quite a number of interesting athletes there, particularly Adeku Oroyi Odunayo, who is the 6-time champion, African champion, 57 kg. But very quickly, let's have a rundown of how things shaped up in that particular tournament. Given that, according to Honorable Daniel Igali, who organized the tournament, he said that the tournament was organized to prepare Nigerian wrestlers ahead of the African Wrestling Championship that is set to go down in Morocco.
Yeah, that was the aim of the tournament, as it were, because you know that over close to 1 year now, Nigerian athletes have been inactive, no thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic that disrupted the wrestling calendar globally. It wasn't all about wrestling. Basically, sports in the world was, hampered by the pandemic. The last time the athletes competed was at the African Championships out there in Algeria in 2020, February 2020. So it's been quite a long time. It's close to a year actually. February this year will make it exactly 1 year. So the president thought it wise to get the athletes in competitive mode because we have the African Championship coming up in April, as well as the as well as the Olympic qualifiers as well. You understand? 2 tournaments back to back there in Morocco, El Jadida precisely, in the month of April. So the president thought it wise to come up with this idea, and luckily, he got back in. Eventually, the tournament at some point the name changed from Champion of Champions tournament to Baraza Champion of Champions due to sponsorship reasons, as it were. A multi-purpose company in Yenegua did
you have to pay. Emeka, you have to pay. You should understand.
That is in Yenegua, not in Ibadan. you don't know the company in Ibadan anyway. but that is a laudable initiative coming from the federation, and of course the wrestlers themselves, they gave it their best. You won't even know that these wrestlers have not been in action for that long, and you mentioned that Dekuru Odunayo. Nobody scored a single point on her. She was brilliant in virtually all her fights.
She had a brilliant outing.
Exactly. Same for Blessing Obododudu. You can also say so for Aminat Adeniyi, who won gold in the 62 kilogram weight class. Manuel Obonna, who won gold as well in the 74 kilogram class. They did also impress. So, it was a very good tournament for them, and they are all excited with the level of competition, and they're looking forward to even more. Let's not forget, next month, hopefully we'll have the National Sports Festival in Benin, and they will also go there to compete for honors before eventually going to the African Championship. And just to bring this in, the president of the federation has said there are also plans to hold yet another mini tournament before the qualifiers in Morocco, because the qualifiers in Morocco will take place in April. That's about 3 months from now. So you would leave them too inactive for that long, knowing fully well that a lot of them have not qualified for the Olympics. Just Adekwe, who has picked up the Olympic ticket. So the rest, about 7 or 8 of them are hoping to get Olympic tickets as well from the Morocco event right there. And let's not also forget, this tournament showed us that it's not all about Odunayo Adekroye. Her younger sister, Mercy Adekroye, shone like a million stars yesterday on the final day of the tournament. Yes, beating a more established both Samuel and a former African champion in the 53 kilogram final. Impressively, 7-3, he ended in her favor. So, the future is looking bright for the Adekroye.
All right, Emeka, you have to hold it there. Now, looking at the medals table, I can see that Ondo State led the pack, amassing like 9 medals to themselves. Bayelsa State, 5 medals to themselves. Delta State, 2, and Kogi State, 2 as well. Now, if you look at these states that actually participated in the tournament, you want to say we had like 4 or 5 states there, if I'm correct.
Well, there are so many other states who did not eventually get to the medal table. The likes of maybe Kogi State. We also had River State. River State got to the medal table.
Kogi had two.
Yeah,
a gold and a bronze.
Exactly. Kogi had there was Lagos State. Yeah, there was Nigerian Army, Nigerian Police. We had
even Oyo State.
Oyo State as well. Ondo State will always be there. Bayelsa State, the host. They were well represented, and of course, Team Rivers. Let's not forget, Mr. Dekure competed under Team Rivers because one of opponents in the 53 kilogram is already from Ondo State, Bose Samuel. So she had to register under Team Rivers. It doesn't mean she's from Rivers or she has anything to do with Rivers. Yeah.
Now, very quickly, Emeka, before you go, how is the NWF preparing ahead of the African Wrestling Championship that's set to go down in El Jadida, Morocco? Because be on their toes.
To be honest, this same question was exactly what I asked the president of the federation, Honorable Daniel Ligali, earlier today. In Yenagoa before I left him. He said there are plans to hold a similar tournament to what happened recently in Yenagoa prior to the African Championship / the Olympic qualifier, because 3 months is such a long time and they don't want to take anything for chance. So he's looking at organizing a mini tournament just to for the athletes who are bound for the African Championships and the Olympic qualifiers to also get them in competitive mood prior to the trip to Morocco. So that's the basic plan for now. He's hoping that he'll be able to do what something similar to what just happened. Just get those athletes who are going to represent Nigeria there, to keep them busy, with 3, 4, 5 bouts each before they jet out to El Jadida, Morocco in early April. So that's the plan, the immediate plan for now. But before then, of course, we should have the National Sports Festival in Benin, Edo State, hopefully by next month, if COVID-19 permits. That aside, we are also looking at the possibility of the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports also opening camp again. Remember, they did open camp for the wrestlers sometime in December, for about 2 weeks. So if they are also going to do something similar, then it will be very good for the wrestlers once again.
Absolutely, the voice of Emeka Dina, the media officer of the Nigerian Wrestling Federation. Thank you for joining us on the show this afternoon, Emeka.
My pleasure, Eedris. Thank you so much for having me. Always a pleasure to be on your show anytime, any day.
There you go. All right, that was the voice of Emeka Dina, the media officer of the Nigerian Wrestling. Breakdown of how everything went as far as the just concluded Champion of Champions tournament in Bayelsa State went. And of course, maybe I should just give you how the rundown of event there, how they competed, how they won the medals. Each of these states actually got there, but very quickly on those states, like I said earlier on, led the pack with 9 medals, 3 gold medals, 4 silver medals, and 2 bronze medals. Bayelsa State second. 3 gold medals, no silver, and 2 bronze medals. Delta State came third in that one, a gold medal and a bronze medal. Kogi State fourth in that one, a gold medal and also a bronze medal. Very quickly, away from that, last year on the show, Femi, very quickly, let's talk NBA. Of course, games went down last night, and of course, some games did not even end until the early hours of this morning. And in some of the games, we saw Brooklyn Nets defeating the Milwaukee Bucks 125 points to 123 points. Toronto Raptors defeated Mavericks 116 points to 93 points. Heat also defeated Pistons 113 points to 107 points. Bulls defeated Rockets 125 points to 120 points. And the Golden State Warriors narrowly defeated the Los Angeles Lakers 115 points to 113 points. Of course, in that one, you see Stephen 25 points, 1 rebound, 7 assists. Anthony Davis for Lakers 17 points, 17 in that one. 17 points, 17 rebound, and 7 assists. For Raptors and Mavericks, we have Kristaps Porzingis with 23 points, 9 rebound, and 1 assist. Kyle Lowry for Raptors, 23 points, 9 rebound, and 7 assists. But for Nets against Milwaukee Bucks, where Nets actually defeated the Bucks with 125 points, 123 points. James Harden, the man that just made that move, don't forget, 34 points, 6 rebound, and 12 assists. That's double-double. double in that particular one. But for Giannis Antetokounmpo for Milwaukee Bucks, 34 points, 12 rebound, and 7 assists. It's like these guys, Femi, they are not ready to let go of the. I mean, everybody's just trying to showcase what he's got.
Yes. You know, it has to be that way because you have to show that competitive edge that you have, and given the emergence of new stars day by day in the NBA, I think the previous stars that have been holding it down, but asked to just step up their game. The likes of this guy too that shined on his debut, Victor Oladipo. He scored 32 points. Amassing 9 assists. It's always a very good one to see new names coming up, and not just the likes of Steph Curry that we've been used to giving breathtaking performances every now and then. I think it's a good one going forward in the NBA. It's a laudable achievement, and for the likes of Kevin Durant, I mean, to stay on their feet, I think it's actually a good one for competition level.
Yeah. Okay, this is the exact point where we have to say BY on the show this afternoon. Baba Laugh is here for Oja, Bagedi Oja. Okay, you join us again at exactly 3:15. When we bring you Sports Roundup, Football 360, we also call it, and you can join us. We take you on a ride. Everything you need to know concerning football, we tell you on Sports Roundup. Femi, very many thanks to you for coming on the show this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
All right, then my name is Eedris Abiola.